Hi, and welcome to a new first devlog. I'm so sorry that I've been sparse with these in the past, but I now have an artist/marketing assistant that will make sure that I keep up with it. She can be quite scary when she needs to. It's also my capstone project, so I literally have to make these videos. Since the class is online, I no longer can just, do this in person. By the way, sup, professor? How's it going? How you doing? As for context, for people who can't read minds and aren't my professor, I spent the spring of this year programming all the core systems, right? So I had like filler art in. Some of the art's going to stay, like the background art, especially like the environmental stuff. But then the other things, like the characters and the enemies, they're going to be replaced with custom stuff because the enemies are a major part of this game, right? But I programmed the core systems. I spent the summer reorganizing and networking, and I plan on spending the fall creating and integrating custom art, especially our unique enemies and characters, and finalizing any auxiliary gameplay systems. All of that being sorted, this is our project, Livia, which is a psychological horror game with a heavy inspiration from mythology, Gnosticism, and sci-fi. Right now, we are actually a core team of 2, so I'm no longer by myself. But I am the only one in engine. Sage is a godsend. She's an amazing artist. She's great at doing social media and socializing and people and stuff. I don't like to do that. So I love people. I'm a charitable person. I just don't socialize well because I'm very awkward. So she's very helpful and very witty and funny. So it helps a lot. I do the programming, anything in engine, level design, all that good stuff. I know how to use Unity. I know where the things and the buttons are. I know a bit of 3D modeling. I'm teaching her a little bit too because she wants to help with that. And I also do just the general game design and the writing for like dialogue for voice actors and stuff. And then anything business related. So since we sell, merch, we have business stuff, so I do all of that. Anything business related, and also like asset acquirement. I am the wallet. Yeah. So our goal is to have a good enough demo to turn in for school, obviously in December, since I have to pass this class. And that'll be a publishable demo. It'll be on Steam. But the idea is to have the beta in December, so that way by March, when we do the final release of the demo, I can implement all of the feedback that we have. It'll be the first half of the demo done in December, or maybe a little bit more than half, and then the finalized demo in March. And then after that, maybe a year and a half later, the other 4 regions should be done. Because the core systems, like the programming, will be done. We just have to make art and put it in and all that stuff. So hopefully we can be quicker with it so we can get this done and move on to the next game, because I have a lot of games that I want to make. You know what I mean? Yeah, so without further ado, this is a progress report of everything that we've done since June of this year. For context, Sage joined in July. So we have concept art of most of the monsters for the first half of the demo done. We have Addiction, which is inspired by like lab rats. I think he looks really cool. We have Blind Love, which is a monster that represents victims of like toxic and abusive relationships. The reason they have like flowers in their eyes is because when I think of relationships like that, usually the person that is doing the abusing will apologize by bringing flowers. Right, so it's symbolizing being blinded by those, like, that love bombing and the gifts and, like, not being able to see the true motivation behind that. So that's why they have those in their eyes. We have another one called Ideation. You can fill in the blanks on what kind of ideation you think that is based off of the imagery you're witnessing, which is a boss monster and a fight that really is a pivotal point in Livia's storyline of her remembering things. There's also this personification of Vanity, which is actually an individual person who's also dead and in the underworld, who didn't fare as well as Livia is. And it's implied very heavily through her dialogue, that the way she died is botched cosmetic surgery, which is why some parts of her are not rotting at the same pace as others. I don't know how to say that without getting flagged by YouTube, but you get what I mean. Also, sorry for this censorship. Anyway, we also have some finalized in-game artifacts that are collectibles of Livia's. Notes from her memories, documents, drawings, and even like a band poster for a performance event. That band logo we have on a lot of different like merch on the website too, so if you want to have like a t-shirt for a fictional rock band. In the like 3D department, we have 2 models that are currently sculpted and needing to be optimized. First, we have a brand new model for Livia that I have gone and sculpted and added the right details and stuff, based on what she's wearing the day that she died, to replace like the current placeholder, which is actually just going to be an enemy in the underworld. We have a sculpt of ideation done as well. And ideation is something I actually commissioned because it was just so detailed, and I'm still learning. And I wanted it to look good. And when I tried to make it, it looked really cartoonish, because like human bones and like the rib cage especially is kind of complicated to put together and have the right amount of ribs and the right connections and like the collarbone and everything. It was a confusing day for me. So I paid somebody else to do it because it's like one of the biggest enemies in the demo, and I wanted him to look as best as possible, so I've decided to pull money out of pocket to do that. I'll have his thing linked below so you can see his art station. He's a really, really great artist. We've even done our first interview as a team with SAS Gaming, which I will also link below. They were at the convention that we attended because we actually went to Southern Fried Gaming Expo to do some marketing and to do some gameplay testing. And we used all of that feedback to make our demo even better. It was a super great time. I totally lost my voice talking to people for 3 days straight. Our table was like swarmed. It was so crazy to see so many people interested and curious about my game. Like it was an experience. Like I will never forget that. And it was such a positive experience. I was like so nervous. And I was nervous in the interview too, but I had fun. I did. Yeah, so in Engine, I've also made some major updates since June. So I updated the AI a lot. Like the smaller AI for like regular enemies, I think is pretty much done. The bosses, since they have kind of their own unique mechanics, they're gonna need some work. You know what I mean? And then I've also implemented a sound system with like footsteps and background music and dynamic combat audio and some weapon trails and stuff like that to kind of make things look a little bit more cosmetic, as well as adding in like player leveling and stuff like that, because that wasn't there before. Not directly game related, but I also finished updating the website. I added a little shop. We have like merchandise with like the game logo or the band logo and like the company stuff, and like we have like mouse pads that light up and t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. So it's a cool little shop. Check it out if you want to support the studio or not, whatever. I don't like peddling things. But I'm pretty proud of how the website looks. Like as a developer of not websites, I'm actually pretty stoked about how that website came out. I used Wix, so it's not like I programmed it, but it still looks really good. So yeah. Our next goals are to finish the new model for Livia, like to do the retopology and adding her bones and stuff so we can animate her, and then to get them working in the engine. After that, I want to finish doing ideation as well, to finish retopologizing and doing his textures and whatever. And then to rework the camera system and start up a system for doing cutscene management. And then after that, we're going to model other monsters and finalize them. And then it's just level design and like fine tuning and keeping everyone up to date on our progress. So that is our kind of roadmap plan. I think that's everything that we've done. Sorry I ran through it, but I don't want to give my professor a super long video. So I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes, and I think I just barely did that. But yeah, check out all the links below for ways to stay connected or to watch that interview or whatever. And bye-bye.